Good morning, Suzanne.
Morning, Angela.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Oh, good. It's so nice to sit here and have this conversation
It
with you
is.
this morning.
It's quite lovely.
And I'm getting to know you since I've been living here for a couple of years, but curious about you and who you are. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Well, okay, I'll start with my name. I'm Suzanne Huard. I've been living in town since 1991 with my partner Judy. I'm retired. Career-wise, I had a brief career as a historian, a somewhat longer career as an educator, but most of my work experience has actually been in the field of computer science and information technology and at the University of New Hampshire. So as a systems developer, database designer, project manager, things like that. But hobby, what I'm interested in personally, if I may go on, is I'm an avid organic gardener and have been my whole entire life. We grow a lot of our own fruits and vegetables here in Rollinsford. And I'm also president of the garden club in town. It has a much longer official name, but we rent out garden beds to folks who don't otherwise have the opportunity to garden in their own yards. And we have about 40 beds, I think, we rent out every year, so that's wonderful. And there are nature trails there. It's on Foundry Street. And I know that there are grades in the Rollinsford grade school that will come walking out to the gardens and go down the nature trails and learn about animals and rabbits and all kinds of things like that. So, and I have a wide range of other interests too that run the gamut. Mostly I like to enjoy life with friends and family.
Well, you've shared a lot of it too. You shared a lot of your skills with this community, and I think we've been grateful for that in a number of capacities. But the gardening, I didn't know your background with that, and that's impressive. 40 beds, wow. So why are you running? And it's curious to me because you have been on the select board, and now you're running for budget committees. So why the shift, and what's your interest in this?
Well, that's a good question. So, as you noted, I was 5.5 years on the select board. Much of that as chair, and much of that as the representative from the select board to the budget committee. And so I had played a major role on the board in the development of our own budgets. And I would like to now serve on the budget committee so that I can continue to help provide, some expertise in some of the things that I know the town needs. But also, having been there on the budget committee, I was trying to get the budget committee early on to have conversations with us, the constituent groups, about where we thought issues were, where we thought we might have problems. And I don't think I was successful. And so I'd like to serve on the budget committee to see if I can come back and we can start to have larger questions early on, better deliberations between the budget committee and the constituent groups. And also to see if the budget committee would like to provide the groups, the school, the town, and the water district with guidelines. Like, we're thinking, we would like you to try to keep any budget increase within, this percentage. I'd also like to have, particularly the town, start the budget process sooner. It is frustrating all around when we come into January, February. It doesn't seem like the budget committee's had sufficient time to really talk and deliberate, or maybe they feel the data hasn't been good. So I'd like to see if we can start the process sooner, have better, more collegial deliberations, and also more high-level providing guidelines to the budget committee.
I think you brought that to the select board too. Were you instrumental in putting together the capital improvement plan?
The plan itself, the idea of the plan had been started by Patrick Carroll a year or so before, but I would say that it was under our watch, the boards that I served on, where we actually made it a viable document. And we were actually, here's our 10-year plan for a capital improvement. Here's how we need to fund it across the years. And I'm a planner, I'm a strategic planner. And so I did try to get the board to use that CIP as a planning tool, a major planning tool. I also incorporated 10-year financial plan and projections for the town, and worked on a 10-year road plan, because roads are one of our biggest individual expenditures in the town. So Yes, I do like to plan.
Well, I found that really helpful, and I
Thank you.
appreciate
I hope other people did.
that particular document.
as
I
well.
thought was very intelligent and necessary.
Well,
So
you know,
just-
if I can, before you go, I mean, it helps us too. I mean, it was not just for the town, it was a planning tool for us, for the board, because when you start thinking about, well, you know, that culvert needs to be fixed, and this needs to be done, and that needs to be done, I need to, you know, run the numbers. I need to see how this will all fit so that we know how much we need to juggle. What is it that we need to maybe try to delay or bring forward sooner? And without a tool like that, you're just making decisions in a very narrow framework.
Well, and everybody, of course, is voting about what's in their backyard, and so if you had all the culverts on your list, you wouldn't be listening, you wouldn't have to hear from someone saying, well, you need to fix the culvert on my road, you know, so
Mhm.
I think that was pretty strategic too. So you've talked a little bit about your many skills that you bring to the process, but is there something in particular that you would add? We've got a little over a minute left for our conversation. What do you think you bring to the budget committee?
I'm looking at my own little cheat sheet here.
That's
I
fair.
think I'm a good problem solver. I'm pragmatic. I tend not to have really fixed or rigid ideas. You know, and in years in the IT business, you're always faced with riddles or how to put this round thing into a square hole. And so you have to become nimble in how you approach things. And so I think I bring that to the board. Again, I'm a planner, a strategic planner, so those kinds of large thoughts, I think may be helpful, and when we have deliberations with the board about where we see all of our groups going. And I think I have certainly with regard to the town budgets and needs, I have a pretty deep knowledge of where things are and where some of the issues and problems are, so.
Pragmatic, I like
Pragmatic,
that
yeah.
word.
Kind of who I
Suzanne,
am.
good luck to you.
Thank
It's
you so
really
much,
nice
Angela.
talking
This was
to
a
you this
pleasure.
morning.
And can I add one more thing, and that's thank you to
Absolutely.
you and to Tamara for providing this to all of the candidates. And I hope that all the candidates are taking advantage of this,
Most have done so.
because it's a nice way another way for us to engage and have the public try to engage and get to know. So thank you both for this.
We're happy to do it, and only 2 people have not been in touch with us, but we would like to interview everyone.
Super, good, thank you.
Thanks.